Well, I became interested in it when Bob Welch organized it, but I had been interested in these questions for a long time, ever since my college days, and during the period of time when I acted as confidential secretary and then as legal associate to John W. Davis, who was the leader of the Jeffersonian Democrats, the discredited and disinherited branch of the Democratic Party. And, of course, I became even more interested in some of these things when I was in Tokyo with General MacArthur and could see what was being done by the communist conspiracy out there and back in this country, because sometimes distance lends a better perspective of what's going on. So that when Bob Welch said that he was going to start this, and for whatever reason, I've never been quite sure, invited me to go to that initial meeting in Indianapolis, I was very much impressed to find myself associating with people who were outstanding members of the community, like Bill Grady, who's the head of a large industrial firm in Milwaukee and had brought the J.I. Case Company back into satisfactory financial condition at one point, T. Coleman Andrews, who had been the Commissioner of Internal Revenue, and Dean Clarence Mannion, who had been the Dean of the Notre Dame Law School, and a number of other people of that caliber. I am still impressed by the caliber of those men and their ability to analyze situations and their feelings on this particular subject. And I have always felt not only honored, but somewhat flattered to be included in this group.
Mr. Davis, do you seriously and honestly share the deep conviction with Mr. Welch that there is a communist conspiracy within the borders of this country whose goal it is to take over the control of this country?
Yes, I certainly do, Bill. I think it's part of an international conspiracy. I think it exists in this country as well as around the world. Mm-hmm. We have seen for many years the physical evidences of it all over the world. And I think those of us who have taken the time to look into this and study it can see the evidences of it here.
Briefly, can you give me specific examples of this evidence?
Oh, I think we can find them in almost any phase of our national life and our national activity. I think we'll find it in government. I think we'll find it in politics. I think we'll find it, unfortunately, in religion. I think we'll find it in labor and in business, in education, and so forth.
How does this evidence manifest itself?
Well, in many different ways, and it's not always wide open, and communists do not, as I'm sure you know, come out into any segment of our society or any society and simply announce that we are communists, here we are here to destroy your education system or your religious concepts. They go about their work in devious means and through devious methods. The activity of known communists in this country over the years is rather extensive. Numerous volumes have been written on it. The committees of Congress, the Senate Internal Security Subcommittee, the House Committee on Un-American Activities, Mr. Hoover of the FBI, many other authorities of equal repute have reported to the Congress, have reported to the government, who in turn have reported to the American people that we have had this internal problem for many, many years. And again, it is not a simple thing and an easy thing for an amateur or a layman to go out and hunt communists. And that is not the job or the business of the John Birch Society. That is the business of our government. And that's why one of the functions of our government. Nevertheless, we on the local level as individual citizens have been encouraged time and time again by our officials in government to be on the lookout and on the alert for those forces of subversion that will rise up amongst us. And we don't care whether that subversion comes in the form of socialism or Nazism or communism or collectivism. We think these are alien to our American way of life.
I may interrupt again, sir. We are running short of time on the equal time provision here. Let me ask both of you gentlemen this. Do you consider that our society, you're critics of our society as it now is established? I think everybody accepts that, correct?
No, I wouldn't agree with that, Bill. We're simply critical of the way it is working, being made to work in certain fields, which we consider departure from the fundamental basis.
All right, sir. Assuming that more limited definition of your protest, is this society, as it is now structured and operating, unable, from your point of view, to survive and cope with the challenges that we face? And if so, why?
Well, I don't know what you mean by survive, because actually we have been growing in membership ever since the society was organized, so apparently we are.
Excuse me, we misunderstand. I don't mean the John Birch Society, I mean the society of which we are all a member. Is our society, the American society, unable, under its present structure, to cope with the challenges that we face now? And if so, why?
No, because we advocate doing nothing except through constitutional channels. We don't advocate any revolutionary activity, such as the Nazi Party does. And we believe that the structure is there, the opportunity is there. That's one reason for the program to impeach Earl Warren, because the impeachment of a justice of the Supreme Court is the only way in which the American people can take action against a man they consider unsuitable for the job that he holds on the bench.
What aspects of our society would you change?
Well, I don't think that the John Birch Society, of course, isn't in a position to do that in the first place, and it isn't our responsibility in the second place. Mr. Welch has repeatedly stated publicly that he believes that the American form of government is the finest form of government yet devised by man. He has repeatedly and publicly stated that he thinks 98 or 99% of the employees of that government are dedicated, loyal, and patriotic citizens who are trying to do their job to the best of their ability and in a patriotic way. What he is concerned about, what I am concerned about, what the members of the John Birch Society are concerned about, Bill, is that remaining 1% or 1/2 of 1% or whatever it may be that is there to attempt, as they have throughout history and other countries around the world, to come in and subvert the way of life which we do hold dear and cherish, and to try to do what we can is through an educational process to alert our fellow Americans.
Process.
Absolutely not. Through an educational process to alert our fellow Americans to these dangers, to make our individual fellow citizens responsible citizens and concerned about these things, and not always and forever spending all of our time on non-important aspects of our life.
Gentlemen, I wish we could talk longer, but we have, under our previous agreement, given approximately equal time to both the members of the John Birch Society and our other guests who are not members of the John Birch Society. In the remaining few minutes in our program, we'd like to discuss one other aspect of the general subject of right-wing extremism. By prior agreement with the members of the John Birch Society who are with us today, we will not discuss the John Birch Society in these few moments. But I'd like to turn to Dr. Larson, if I may. At the beginning of our program, it was pointed out that dissident minorities have always had a welcome and sometimes effective role in our society. In terms of the history of the American society, what is the role of the right-wing extremist group today? Does it have a role of value and benefit?
No, I don't think so. I think this is quite a different affair, and I don't see any benefit from it at all, quite a lot of harm, in fact, because, as I said at the outset, a wide range of opinion we're used to in this country, but outright distortions and misstatements of fact.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, on both sides of this political fence. Our purpose on this program has been to ask the question, is there a danger on the right? We've asked that question. We've gotten some answers to it. You will have to give your own answer. I'm Bill Butel, reporting for New York, New York.
New York, New York. The Question of a Danger on the Right is a public affairs production of WABC TV's Department of News and Public Affairs. This is Dick Mason.